So what enemies and troubles will we have to face next? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 5 of Jormungand. So fun fact for you. Back on Friday here in Michigan, it snowed. Um, and it's our first major snowfall of the year, but it wasn't just a normal snowfall. See, a lot of the snow during the day on Friday was mixed with rain. As such, a lot of it early on became slush. Now, I was going out to the garage to get the shovel and the salt, as you do. I was going to go grab that so that I could be able to shovel and everything as I needed to. Um, our back door has a little step below it before you actually hit the full ground. So there's like the back door, then you go down one step, and then there's the ground, right? So I walk out, I open the back door, I take one step out onto the little step, and I fly. I flew like a few feet away from the door, banged up my foot pretty good, and kind of landed on my knees and one of my hands before like kind of tipping over to the side. Um, and I was fine. I was mostly fine at the time. It more surprised me than anything. It didn't really hurt exactly. So I got up, I continued along my way and got the shovel and everything. Went outside a little bit later, did the shoveling and everything. All was good. Yesterday, or no, Saturday, it was a little worse. My foot was starting to come under a little bit of pain, but it was workable. I could still walk around. I didn't need like the crutches we have to get around or anything. But then yesterday, Sunday, when I woke up, it was notably worse, and it wasn't as bad as when I sprained my foot back like a couple days before Christmas, which really sucked for a number of reasons. Um, it wasn't as bad as when I did that. That was much worse. But it still proved to be super inconvenient. So yesterday, I ended up like taking a lot of time during most of the day to rest my foot. I was elevating it, I was using a heat pack on it and everything. And that seems to have worked because today I woke up and it's a lot better. It's not healed again yet, but it's better. It just sucks that this happened like right after my foot had just healed from the sprain I had back at the end of December. It's like, oh, my foot gets sprained on the 23rd and just continues to be like a nuisance until then. Oh, it's finally pretty much completely healed. Oh, I'm going to slip and fly and hurt it all over again. Same foot, my left foot. um, and it's definitely because of the fact that it was just like almost completely healed. It's like it wasn't 100% there yet, so it's not surprising to me that it re-injured it. But again, it was not as bad, and it's already healing a lot quicker, so it's not as big of a deal. But I just wanted to mention that just because of that kind of irony about it. Um, and just to also note that if at any point during this reaction you might see me like wince or something, it's because I moved my foot in the wrong way. Um, I can get around a lot easier now, but again, if I move my foot in the wrong way, it's gonna hurt. At least for a second there. So, that all being said, we're still good to do reactions. Everything was still good for that, so no issues there. And speaking of, so yeah, we are here with Jormungand. Last time we finished off a two-parter. that centered around this orchestra group. And it was kind of a sad story with this girl who, had her parents killed in front of her, ended up becoming like this guy's servant against her will, and eventually kind of gained some issues because of it, even leading to her having a bit of a disorder there. But it's it's all over now because she dead too. They both are very, very dead. And again, it does suck, but at least Coco gave her a respectful farewell, knowing that she was a victim in all of this and everything. But it's one of those cases where, although she too was a victim, she did need to go. It was probably the only thing that could be done at that point. She was too far gone, and there was no stopping her desire for vengeance over her master's death. So it's like, I mean, if they didn't kill her there, she would do something so reckless that it would cause her death anyway. Let's be honest. Um, it's funny. It's funny because just over this past weekend, I put up my reaction to Barbarian, and I kind of said a similar thing in that, regarding a victim who needed to be put down, even though they were a victim. There was no other choice there. So it's just kind of funny timing on that. So I don't know what's going to happen next. I know that there's more multi-parters in this. I know there's at least one more coming up, I think, next episode or the episode after. Um, I don't know any other details, but I did see that when I was getting this episode downloaded and everything. So yeah, I'm interested to see where all of this goes, and I'm just hoping to maybe learn more about some of these characters, because it's like we're being teased with Coco a bit with her backstory and everything, but I want to know more about the others on the squad as well. I want to know more about their backstories, how they ended up joining Coco, all of that kind of stuff. That's kind of my big hope right now, that we're going to get to start seeing some of their backstories and all. I know there's a second season to this. It's called like New World War or something like that. um, but yeah, I feel like they got to start going into some backstories because both seasons are single core. I don't think they're going to have enough time otherwise if they don't go into backstories. Like, maybe they can split them up between the seasons, have a couple of them in this season, a couple of them in the next season. That's fine, but they do need to start getting to them. And again, with Coco and all as well. Like, we want that backstory too. We want more of Yona's information. Just a lot of information that would be nice to have. But in the meantime, we're just gonna get this started because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know like anything about what's coming up. This is one of those shows that people don't really talk about a lot, so I don't really have anything to go off of. All I know is that it is definitely comparable to Black Lagoon, and I mean that in a positive way. Just a little more comedic. Like Black Lagoon had some comedy, but this is a little more comedic by nature, it seems. Uh, excuse me. But yeah, like I said, either way, let us get this going. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. You know what one of my favorite things when reacting is? One of just the most satisfying things that can happen when I'm recording a reaction is when I, in the pre-thoughts, specifically mention wanting to see something, and then the episode I watch right after gives that to me. It's not like out of any sense of, oh, I predicted it, or anything like that. It's not out of a sense of oh, they listened to me, or I was able to understand that that was coming with the series based on it. No, no, no. It's nothing like that, because most of the time I don't feel that way when experiencing this. It's satisfying from a perspective of, this is what I wanted. It's purely from the perspective of, I'm getting my wish. This is what I wanted to see. It doesn't matter to me that it happened in the same episode I specifically mentioned that in the pre-thoughts. It wouldn't matter to me if it happened 2 episodes down the line, 3, 4. As long as it happens, I'm satisfied. But when it happens right away like this, it's just that extra level to where it's like, thank you. Thank you for giving me what I wanted. Thank you for giving me exactly what I asked for. That is satisfying. And mind you, we didn't get like every character's backstory. I wouldn't expect to at the same time. But we got a pretty major one. Because Yona is one of the main characters. I would say him and Coco are the main characters of this. With the rest of the crew, like Lem and Valmay and everyone, them kind of being secondary side characters, there to push forward the story of our main ones. So it's really, really satisfying and really exciting to see when I get to have one of those moments where you could say I called it, but at the same time, it's like, it's just satisfying that they just gave me what I wanted. It doesn't matter that I called it. It's what I wanted. Even if I kept quiet about that, it'd still be just as exciting. So, yeah, this episode dealt with the introduction of Casper Hekmatyr. I probably butchered that last name. Hekmatyr? I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe I should have checked. Maybe I should check out the dub just to find out. But yeah, Casper is Coco's older brother, and he is a dick, to put it lightly. He's kind of terrible, and it's very clear that Coco puts the value she holds in Yona above him. In fact, when she finds out that, these two had a confrontation and everything, she got pissed and forced him off the ship. Because she has become very protective over Yona. Like, it mentions at the end, like, her talking about, like, wanting to melt his cold exterior and everything, wanting to, like, bring warmth and love to his life. But it's I feel there's more to it than that, and it probably is part of her backstory. We got a little bit about them in this as well. We found out that they were both born on these container ships and everything in the past, and they've been like they were ferried around by their family and everything, and it's very clear that there's major emotional issues there. And I feel like both of these siblings have gone in like kind of the opposite direction in regards to handling those issues. While they're both involved in arms dealing and everything, Casper has become a cold, hardened, terrible individual. While Coco, despite being an arms dealer herself, has shown time and time again that she actually cares about people a lot. She's actually very sympathetic and empathetic towards others. And while she's an absolute gremlin of a person, and is, dedicated to doing her job that, let's be honest, is kind of messed up, she's not a bad person. And her connection with Yona is very much the key of showcasing that. Because it shows us as a viewer how much she does actually care. And we see her trying to protect and care for Yona in ways that she doesn't really treat others, even. She's almost become like a mother figure to him, and I think she sees it mostly that way. Um, and I definitely think it has to do with her family connections and issues. We'll probably find out more about that as we go along. And according to what Casper said in the flashback, she had specifically asked about Yona while he was locked for an indeterminate amount of time in that shipping crate. Now, in regards to the rest of the backstory, so his parents were killed in the village, which we find out was indirectly caused by Casper. He ended up being taken in by the military to become a child soldier and everything with these other kids, and he had bonded with the others very closely. One day, this girl named Malka is taken away. This girl who he cares for greatly, and he presumes that she was taken and killed. Not like by a firing squad or anything like that, but by being forced to, walk out onto a minefield in the place of the soldiers. And we don't actually know if that's what happened. We have no real evidence. Like, the only thing is just what Yona believes happened. Well, I'm still thinking that that's not what actually happened. I'm thinking that Malka is still alive and that is going to come into play. Because there's no way that is going to be that big of a focus and everything and not come back into things. That feels too obvious to me. But that death absolutely fucked him up, and he took revenge on the entire base just to get to the one guy who had the cold, dead eyes. So he took revenge and killed everyone on the base, and then, killed that guy as well. And we find out that the other kids who were with them as well, with him and Malka, were apparently going to be sent off to Japan by Casper. We don't know, where that went at all, but still, we presume that Casper probably kept his promise about that. But, I guess we don't technically know for sure. So, yeah, it shows how traumatized Yona is, and how Coco doting over him like she does is not just a way to try and melt his icy heart or whatnot, but she's doing it to show him that somebody can care for him. That he doesn't have to be alone in the world. That he can find family. And again, I have to feel that has to do with her own relationships with her family. I can't say for sure until we get something on that, but that's exactly how it feels. This was really good. The amount of depth that this gave to Yona, the fact that we know his full name now, the fact that we just get all of this information is huge. The way it's delivered is great, showing the flashbacks, but also showing how Yona feels about Casper in the current day. We get basically everything we need to here. And I really like that. It adds depth to the character. It builds upon things that were already mentioned. And it recontextualizes a lot. That was just really good. There's no other way to put it. Um, it was also really sad, though. And the thing is, if Malka is dead, then it makes it even sadder. It really does. I'm still thinking she's not. It's not even just a hope or wish kind of thing. I just don't believe she's dead. But like I said, we'll end up seeing. In the meantime, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Jormungand? And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.